Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. Today I would like to discuss why we should allow our boys to express themselves. And when I say express themselves, I mean all the way. Both their masculine and feminine energies should be able to be expressed. We're all humans. We all are looking for ways to determine who we are, but how will we know what we are or who we are if we're limited to what we're allowed to share, express, and what we're allowed to be? I think a lot of times people, especially parents, we get so afraid of what society's going to think if our son wants if he wants to play with action figures instead of playing with play guns. We get fearful. We're like, oh my gosh, like, does this mean my kid's gonna, is he's gonna like boys? Or does this mean that all the kids are gonna pick on him because he's too soft? First of all, let's start there. You need to allow your kids to be who they are. You want to be who you are, right? So who cares if they grow up and they like boys? Who cares if they grow up and they're soft? Who cares? The most beautiful thing that we can ask from anybody, or that we can receive from anybody, is for people to know who they are. For people to know who they are. And us depriving our kids or depriving our cousins or uncles or our brothers or whoever the male figure is in our lives, we're depriving them from being who they are. We need to stop. We need to stop, especially as parents. Boys should know that it's okay to express anger and pain, as well as express love and express if they want love as well. I think it's senseless to raise up boys believing that they need to be tough and that they don't really need love, and that they need to chase a whole bunch of women or a whole bunch of girls, because if they're boys, they're girls. So to chase a whole bunch of girls to feel like they're growing into a man, that is so toxic. We have to stop that, because think about it. Everybody wants to brag about how they're raising kings, yet they're teaching their boys this type of mentality. Don't cry. That's what girls do. Don't fall in love. There's so many girls out there. Get over it. You can do better anyway. Oh, she broke your heart? Okay, well, it's time for you to go get another girlfriend. Don't waste no time with her. Oh, you were abused? Oh, gotta get over it. That's so toxic and so dangerous on so many levels, because we're not just, when we're raising kids, we're not supposed to be just looking at them being kids. We need to help to raise them to be kings and queens one day. You have to set that path up for them to grow into the men you want them to be, or to help them grow into the men that they want to be. I believe that's why a lot of our homes are broken, because boys are taught that they're not supposed to love. They're taught that that's not what's important. Getting the most girls and having the nice cars and getting a good paying job is what's important. Love that's for the girls. Yet we want our boys to grow up into men and to marry women or marry men. Like I said again, let your kids be who they are. Let people be who they are. Stop judging them. Stop controlling them. Let people be who they are. Back on topic. So we want them to grow up and we want them to get married. And we want them to have kids if that's what they want to do. But you're raising a broken person and you expect them to grow into a whole person by the time they're 18 years old or by the time they're in their 20s. But you set up 18 years of broken foundation by teaching them that they need to bottle up their feelings. They don't need to talk about things that hurt them. They're not allowed to hurt. They're not allowed to fall in love. That they just need to just let stuff roll off their back and just keep on pushing, get through it. What are we really teaching them? What kind of life are we setting up for them? It's not going to be positive in the end. And that's why a lot of our homes are broken, because these men are having children. They're not trying to get married. I'm not saying marriage is for everybody, because it's not. So I'm not forcing it on anybody either. But they're having children with women. And especially if she's a whole woman, if she's a grown woman and she's noticing that, maybe he's doing some things that it's a little strange. So she wants to know. So she's trying to talk to him and trying to have him express his feelings. And then he gets scared because all his life he was taught that he's not allowed to have feelings. He's not allowed to express feelings. So what does he do? He either leaves her or he cheats on her. And then in the end, she winds up leaving him. Broken homes. And then he has these children. And then these children are going without their fathers because Daddy didn't know how to love like that. He wasn't taught to love. He was taught to hustle. So Daddy's out in the streets. Daddy's doing what he wants to do. He's not, he doesn't care to get emotionally attached to anybody because he's still running away from himself. He's confused. He's taught that as a child, he's been taught that he's not allowed to feel. And so emotions are going to catch up to you regardless. You can try to hide it for as long as you want to, but if something's hurt you, or if you're really dealing with something, I don't care if it was 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years ago, it's going to always creep back up, and it's going to get into your relationships. It's going to get into your future. It's going to present itself. So 9 chances out of 10, what's going to happen is that man's going to be running. It's not the kids that he doesn't want. It's not the woman that he had kids with that he doesn't want. It's that he's running from himself. He doesn't want to admit that he's hurting, he's broken, and that he has work to do. It's just easier just to keep on going with life, keep on trucking like nothing's bothering him. And I believe that if we start in the home where our boys are still boys and we allow them to be who they are, we stop calling them out of their name. I'm sure you guys heard it, where people say acting like a little girl, like a sissy, and stop it. It's disgusting. It's very disgusting, because even if your son, let's say your son is interested in other boys, now you broke that communication bond that you could have had with that child, because now he's afraid to talk to you about his feelings. Again, expressing his feelings, because he's always going to remember that you call him a sissy, you call him a punk, just because he fell down and scraped his knee and he started crying. Toxic. Y'all gotta admit that to yourselves. That's toxic. We have to stop, because these boys are going into men and they're damaged. But you put so much emphasis on women growing into queens, women taking care of themselves, women being in tune with their emotions. Again, emotions. But we don't do that for our boys. So then we have a world full of women who are at least trying to put themselves together, because they were taught that it's important to have leveled emotions, to be able to get emotions out, whatever they're feeling. If they were hurt from something, if they're happy about something, whatever it is, we're taught to just talk about it. That's why they say, which is the truth, but girls, we can get together and we can just talk for hours about whatever we're going through, whether it's good or bad. And we don't have it's like, oh, what a relief, we're good. But men don't get together like that. They might get together. They might say, man, you know, I was with this one girl, and you know, she thought she was gonna play me. And it's really no discussion about it. It's like, oh, well, did you go and get somebody else? Did you, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's how men are taught to heal. That's how they're taught to deal with things, is get somebody else. If something's taken from them, to quickly replace it, and don't stay there long. And I feel like that's something we definitely need to work on. We need to let our boys know it's okay to have feelings, good or bad. And we also need to allow our men to do the same thing. So women, ladies, men, if you're out there and you're married or you're in a relationship with a man and he's hurting and he's needing support, he's needing comfort, don't be afraid. As a matter of fact, there shouldn't be no fear at all. Be there for him. Understand him. Listen to him. Allow him to vent. Allow him to talk. Allow him to express himself. Especially for our ladies. I'm sure you want him to do the same for you, so do the same for him. It's a give and take in a relationship. Stop thinking it's all about you. It's about him too. And he's probably hurting about something. You need to be listening. You need to be there. You need to offer support. You need to offer love. You need to offer a listening ear, and keep your negative comments to yourself. Stop saying, oh, well, you always crying about something. I've heard that. I've heard women even tell men, like, you acting gay. I've heard women say, call their man the B word. But yet we don't want that to happen to us, right? So I honestly feel like it's just so important. So important. If you can't do that and you trying to be in a relationship with a man, maybe you need to reevaluate. You don't need to be in a relationship with a man if you feel like you got to chop him down to his kneecaps every time he wants to talk about something that's you feel is too emotional, or if he wants to get in tune with his feminine side and express himself, because we need more healthier men. And that's going to entail people being open and being understanding and really embracing this man. If he's wanting to talk about something, let him talk. Same for our little boys. Hug them. Tell your little boys you love them. It doesn't mean that they're less of a boy or less of a man just because they're doing what's natural to them. God gave us all feelings and emotion. Don't take it away just because society says a girl's supposed to act this way and a boy's supposed to act that way. Think about it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really, really hope that somebody can connect and understand what I'm trying to say. I know that I didn't say everything that I probably should have said, but I just hope that I got the main points out there and why it's so important to not deny men, not to deny our boys, to be in tune, in touch with their emotions on all levels. If you have some information, or if you want to comment on, what I said, or piggyback off of it, or whatever, if you want to share something with me, please do not hesitate to leave a message below. Like my video, share if you want to. Let's get to talking. Until next time. Bye.